The premise behind the book is simply this. God can heal in a moment, and he does sometimes. There are
Yes.
some people I know that have cancer, and the next minute the tumor is gone.
Yep.
And it's just miraculous, and God can do that if he chooses to. But the interesting premise behind the book is that God created the body with all these self-healing mechanisms. There are thousands of them, and there are 8 in the book that help you to kind of cooperate with how God has created our body to heal. For example, if you don't properly hydrate, then every cell and every system in your body is not going to function as God has designed it to function. When you sleep deeply at night, those miracles that God has created the body to perform increase exponentially because melatonin goes off, and it's a major immune builder, and it's also a major cancer fighter. So whether it's cancer or any disease or COVID-19, you do best to work with building your own immune system in addition to the CDC regulations.
So as you talk about, and people, of course, COVID-19 very much on people's minds. So, of course, it's not just a COVID-19 thing that we should be, that could contribute it to us being concerned with our immune system. That should be something that we're constantly trying to do. So when you talk about building up your immune system, what are some things that people can keep in mind?
If they properly hydrate, okay, water is the basis for every chemical reaction that happens in every system and every cell in the body. So hydration ups your immune system. If you exercise on a regular basis, your T and B killer cells, more of them are produced. So exercise does like 15 things for your body related to health, but it's key to the immune system. So when COVID strikes and everyone's kind of in this pandemic caveman mode where they're hibernating in their house and they're a couch potato eating junk food to comfort themselves, all these things are not helping your immune system. It's causing your immune system to go out. So if you can exercise, get deep sleep, hydrate, and eat the foods that build your immune system, not the ones that suppress it. And let me tell you this, your gut lining, if a COVID germ gets in through your mouth, and it could easily, as we get back out and get around other people, your own gut lining is prepared to take care of it if you're eating the right foods and you've got a healthy gut lining.
So what's your take on, say, zinc and vitamin C, vitamin D?
All of it. I take all of it.
All of the above.
I took it for the cancer journey. I'm taking it for the COVID journey now to be preventative.
And you mentioned also early on in the interview that you offer some principles that people can apply to if they have had cancer and they are in remission. They're maybe on the backside of the journey. There are some things they can do to prevent it from coming back.
You don't want it to come back. I mean, the book is geared to the person who wants to prevent cancer to begin with. They've already had enough in their family. Someone in the journey, it's the same 8 steps. And the people that don't want it coming back, it's the same 8 steps. But it's also the same 8 steps to prevent Alzheimer's disease, which my father had because I've studied a lot with specialists in that field, COVID, autoimmune disorders, many chronic diseases. These are the same 8 steps. It's not really just for cancer.
Ginny Brant joining us today here on the Meeting House on Faith Radio CPE 2020. And as we conclude, you mentioned earlier really the amount of stress that you took upon yourself when your father was dying, as you mentioned, of Alzheimer's, your mother was dying of cancer, and you were really taking a lot of stress upon yourself. I wanted you, as we close, to talk about and of course all of these are spiritual principles because God has designed us in a very special way. He has created us, and there are certain ways that God has designed our bodies to function. Well, He wants us to be healthy spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Stress and anxiety can really wreak havoc on someone's physical nature, correct?
Yes, and you must learn to calm that emotional brain, whether it's through deep breathing exercises or any type of exercise, using music, whatever it takes. And the reason is when the emotional brain goes off, then the blood sugar goes up and the cortisol levels go up. And when that's long term, it wreaks havoc on the body. And so that's why it's important to keep the stress levels down and not be the rat that runs on the wheel continually.
Yeah.
I had to learn how to do deep breathing to an app on my cell phone that helps balance your immune system and your stress level system. And that's important to keep it balanced and not running on empty,
Sure.